Russia will be free. That was the main slogan for the Spring March of Freedom staged in Moscow on Sunday. Protesters called on Russian President Vladimir Putin to step down. They also demanded fair elections and for release of political prisoners.
We demand fair elections. I want to see the installment of law in this country. The law is only on paper right now. There are no independent courts. President should be a guarantor of the constitution, but Putin doesn't guarantee anything for me.
It is the first opposition protest this spring, and there were plenty of activists from Moscow and from 48 Russian regions. The demonstration is the first in a series of planned protests dedicated to the first anniversary of mass rallies last May, which turned violent.
I was at the Bolotnaya Square protest last May and the police kicked me in the shins. I wrote to the prosecutor and medical expertise, but it led nowhere. They didn't pay attention to me.
The protesters are calling for release of dozens of people who were arrested following clashes with police last year. Activists say that many of those arrested are innocent and didn't get a fair trial.
Our government has no right to be in power. Russia must be free, run by free and adequate people, unafraid to speak up their minds and be heard. We want freedom to the political prisoners and a fair rerun of parliamentary elections.
There were plenty of police on standby at the march, and roads were sealed off for the procession, which was followed by a demonstration on Bolotnaya Square, the place which has become a center stage of mass protests in Moscow. The Spring March of Freedom is held on Orthodox Easter Day this year, a big celebration in Russia. Russian people have been holding festivities on this day for centuries, and this year the organizers have called on people from all walks of life, regardless of their political or religious views, to come and call for changes in Russia. However, some experts in Russia believe that the protesters are brainwashed into provocation against the government.
Bolotnaya Square protests are a tool in American foreign policy and are aimed to provoke people against Vladimir Putin. We live in a world of technologies. It's easy to communicate with and instruct people around the world. It's a global process.
The Investigative Committee of Russia is still probing last year's clashes and has already sent more than 24 accused to court. 2 of the detainees have been convicted of sparking scuffles at the time. Julia Lubova, Press TV, Moscow.